game, James Worthy, 10-time champ, Robert Horry. The Lakers take a 2-1 series lead in what was a very interesting game, a tale of two halves, if you will. But that's what the playoffs are all about. In the first half, a bit of a sluggish start, 18 of 31 from the free throw line, down 4 at the break. But then you go in, you make the adjustments. A 40-point third quarter by a collective unit for the Lakers. LeBron continuing to lead, and then Anthony Davis comes alive. But I think we should start with what we have seen very consistently, guys, throughout these 3 games in this series. The Lakers' defense. When it matters, they step up, they answer the bell, they get it done here in Game 3.
Take it, Rob.
Yeah. Second half is when you had to really key in on the defensive end. And it seemed like the Lakers was like trying to say, is Dame going to be himself because of his hand? But you got to realize it's his left hand, it's not his shooting hand. So they realized, okay, these 2 guards are coming out to play and trying to carry him. So in the second half, you go in halftime, you make these adjustments, and then you lift your defense up and you come out, you play a little bit more aggressive. And that's the sign of a championship team, able to go in at halftime, make some adjustments, like turn that knob just a little bit to make themselves go a little bit faster.
And you got to give them credit. Dame and CJ had it going in the first half. They had Portland exactly where they wanted to be.
Yeah, they did. It's hard to allow 2 guards to beat you. And I think the Lakers, recognized that in the third quarter, put a little bit more pressure on them, didn't give them the comfort shots, and then they turned it on a little bit as well. I thought Caruso and AD, that pick and pop situation really got hot. I thought Morris did a good job. I just thought collectively, as you said, in the third and fourth quarter, they did what they needed to do. It's, that's the nature of a 7-game series. Around Game 3, you're not going to get what you want all the time. You have to figure it out along the way. And that was the beauty of this game. AD kind of figured it out, sluggish start, wasn't hitting free throws. Then they figured out what they could do on both ends, and they came up with a good result.
Coming into Game 2 is about the response effect of Anthony Davis. He showed up. He did what he needed to do. I don't know if it's a response effect for LeBron James when you blow out Portland in Game 2, but he only had 10 points. And so today, he follows that up with 38 points, 4 of 8 from deep, 11 of 18 overall, 12 of 17 big game from the free throw line. Just in attack mode all night long, 22 there in that first half.
Yeah, that's leadership. And I mean, what he does is he sets the tone fly.
For me, I sit back, as I was watching Game 2, and LeBron had only 10 points, people was criticizing because they had only 10 points. I'm like, look at the score, they blowing them out. This guy has a shoulder a lot of stuff, and he goes out. Even though they blew someone out, I think he took it upon himself. Like, they said I had a bad game. I'm going to go out there and show them what the king can do. And that's the sign of a guy that's saying, you know what, I am not down and out yet. A lot of people want to count him out. A lot of want to put these things on him. But, he's a true professional. He's one of the greatest basketball players ever played this game. And he went out and carried this team. He put them on the back, assists, almost a triple-double. So, it's not enough. It's so many people that say so many bad things for LeBron, about LeBron. I wish they'd just realize when you win a game, be happy.
How much do you think, because you guys know, when it comes to a 7-game series, you got to beat a team 4 times. And when it comes to moments like that, you had Anthony Davis rolling. You had KCP who was catching fire. It's an opportunity to that point, whether it's leadership, whether it's just simply empowering your teammates, but allowing them to have their time.
Yeah, it's like they expect so much out of LeBron. I guess he's Spider-Man, with great responsibility, so he goes out and get everybody involved. And that's the sign of great guys, the great leaders. I guarantee if there's been someone like Steve Nash or Jason Kidd, it's been an awesome game. But because LeBron is always looked upon as a scorer and a guy who needs to lead his team by scoring, I'm like, you can lead a team by leadership, you can lead a team by assists, you can lead a team by rebound. It's not always points. In this day and age, everybody looks at the point side of the game, not the whole picture of the whole thing.
Absolutely. And I think, with LeBron, I mean, if you're his teammate, you kind of know when you need to support him as well. He sets the tone. He goes out of the game. I thought they did a good job of, picking up on his energy. When he was out of the game, Caruso and AD. So, yeah, and then before the game, he's verbalizing. He took AD aside, talked to him, tell him what he needs, what he wants to do. So, yeah, LeBron has his pulse on every team he's ever been on, and he's always been able to enroll his teammates to produce.
When we talk a tale of two halves for the team as a whole, it was certainly that too as well for Anthony Davis. Again, just 6 points at the half on 3 shots. He finishes with 29, 11 boards, 8 assists. What'd you see from him out of halftime.
So I'm getting pushed around in the first half. You know, physically getting pushed around, and he got pissed for around a little bit. Got him started, Rob.
You know, the funny thing about that, we said someone need to put a little gunpowder in your food to make you fierce. You know what they say back in the day?
Like you should do the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. So someone put, he lit a fire on him, and he came out. And sometimes you need to get smacked in the face and to wake you up. It's a lot of guys. You said don't make him mad at the game. Don't do this because it makes him play better. And I think he's one of those guys. Like if you make him mad, he's going to play better. It's almost like if you and his teammates, you would elbow and point at somebody. He did it. You know, man, get him back. You know, for him so he can play better. But AD played awesome. He's attacking the backs. Anytime AD, to me, get 3 dunks in a game, that lets me know he's been aggressive.
That is 15 straight 2010 games for Anthony Davis, which we talked about in the pregame, and the company that he is a part of when it comes to that just dominating statistical category. Can you put in perspective just how great that is, though, at this level?
And he's young. He's young, what, 26? And Allie, we got so much to see. You know, I had a coach tell me Coach Bill Burker told me one time, he said, players don't peak till they're around 30. 29, 30. So
look out.
We know we have to, look forward to. If he gets a little tougher and gets stronger, he's going to dominate.
You think about the domination that he had. Remember, Portland made that adjustment at the start. They put in Hassan Whiteside and Yusuf Nurkic side by side. You would think to mitigate that, but he still had a field day.
He still had a field day. I think when he did that, his antennas went up. So, okay, I have to go to my guard moment. And sometimes, like, no, you don't have to do that because they put bigs on you. Still go down the post and work. And it's almost like someone might have told him at halftime, get that guard mentality out of your head, go into beast mode, go be a big. And that's when he started attacking, started being aggressive. You know, I know he's going to be kicking himself in the butt for those free throws, but I thought overall he had an A+ game, and he was just in attack mode in that second half.
We could sit here and talk about the Lakers' dynamic duo who put up 67 combined as the Lakers take a 2-1 series lead. But let's get to the highlight in case you missed the game. From the end of Game 3, 116-108, your final. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, again, combined for 67. Outscored the Portland Trailblazer backcourt. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum combining for 62. Let's head back to Orlando. Frank Vogel is speaking with Mike Trudell in the media via Zoom.
Hey, Frank, what do you think was the biggest difference in Anthony Davis, specifically in that second half and the turnaround as things went down the stretch in this game?
You know, I think he was just playing to make the right play in the first half. Really moved the ball, had a lot of assists, got guys involved, and obviously saw his point total at halftime, shot total at halftime, and I just think he got ultra aggressive in the second half. We did run some more action for him, him going a little bit, and I thought Alex Caruso was great in the pick and roll game, delivering the ball to Anthony in a timely fashion, and got him a lot of those buckets, but. AD he just turned it on. He's that ability to turn it on with his aggressiveness, and was super in the second half.
Frank, you coached against LeBron James in some of those, really intense playoff matchups with Miami in Indiana when you were there. What was it like just this version, this playoff LeBron we talked about, and how aggressive he was and how he was able to dominate?
Yeah, I love this game. He was he was in attack mode. He was living in the paint, living at the rim, and seeking contact and trying to just play the power game, that he's been so accustomed to. And he was finishing at the rim. He was drawing contact, getting to the free throw line, and we encouraged him to be aggressive, shooting over the top too. And obviously knocked down 4 threes. That was a big part of him getting downhill as well.
Frank, do you know the style you're going to get from LeBron? Is like when in Game 1, the 17 assists tonight, the 38 points. Is that something where you guys have a talk before the game and you have a sense of which type of way he's going to attack, or it kind of unfolds as it goes?
Sort of unfolds as it goes. I knew after Game 1 that he was going to shift his focus to being more assertive, looking to score the basketball. It was a unique game because we got such a big game in Game 2. But we definitely saw that tonight. Like I said, looking to score the basketball more, and obviously when help comes, he's still delivering the ball. He still had 8 assists, so he's really doing both. But he was just really efficient scoring the ball tonight.
Yeah, Coach. Portland's obviously a team that really had to push it to even get in the playoffs, playing their main guys 40 minutes, had to play that extra play-in while you guys were kind of not coasting, but could kind of ease into the playoffs. They look fatigued down the stretch tonight. Do you sense that that is becoming an advantage for you guys in this series, particularly late in games, just conditioning?
I didn't feel like Dame and CJ looked fatigued. I think those guys are still playing at a super high level, extremely difficult to guard. We're not going to be comfortable with whatever that may look like on the outside. We know what they're capable of, and we just got to worry about us and trying to execute our coverages the right way and stay in attack mode offensively.
All right.
Hey, guys, go ahead.
Great, Tanya.
You guys have done a really good job defensively in all 3 games. What does it take to sustain that against a team like this that has that potential?
It's difficult. We got to use our depth. We got both big guys out there, and AD playing big minutes. Some at the 5, some at the 4. Our guards are working really hard, and we're trying to encourage them to run. They started 2 7-footers tonight. We want to try to tempo the game, and it takes a lot of commitment to pick these guards up at half court, where their range begins, and still ask them to run the floor. So our guys are working extremely hard for these victories.
Will, back to you.
All right, Brian. And Frank, when you talked a little bit about Alex and what he did in the pick and roll, when he's performing that well in kind of a classic lead guard, point guard kind of role, what does that do for the offense and the types of things that it opens up for you guys on the floor?
Well, the number one thing it does is it allows LeBron to be off the ball some, which is important to our offense, and just sustaining his freshness throughout 48 minutes. And Anthony, as a big guy, as much as he can score in a variety of ways, all bigs are dependent on some level on guards to be able to set them up. So, Rajon has been sort of that guy in the second unit throughout the year. We've missed him. Hopefully we get him back soon. But in the meantime, tonight, Alex did a great job doing it, setting up AD.
Brad?
Thank you. Hi, Frank. This is Brad here in LA. Your defense was exceptionally good in the fourth quarter. Why was that, and what changed for you guys in those last 12 minutes?
Well, we're just trying to stay as aggressive defensively as we can on their guards. We have the ultimate respect for their firepower, and we're working really hard. We know what the coverages are, and we're not going to be comfortable first half, second half, game 2 to game 3 to game 4. We're not going to be comfortable on the defensive side of the ball while those guys are out there. So we just know that we have to really commit to that end of the floor if we're going to win this series.
All right, Tanya.
So Rajon was, we were hoping to get him in there tonight to start him back, and then pregame, as he was warming up, he just experienced some back spasms and wasn't able to go. So we'll see how he's feeling tomorrow.
Was it from shooting or from like?
Yeah, just his pre-practice or pregame shooting routine. Yeah.
Bill?
Hey, Frank. Obviously ended up not being a determining factor tonight, but just what was your take on the free throw shooting, and is that a concern going forward at all for you?
Yeah, we're all going to shoot 1,000 free throws tomorrow. Every player's going to shoot 1,000 each, and we got to be better. We were happy with our aggressiveness and getting to the line, but we got to shoot a higher rate if we're going to continue to have success in this series and in these playoffs.
All right, last one from you.
Hey Frank, Melissa here. I know you guys have shown some videos of Kobe Bryant throughout the playoffs, and I'm curious, with Kobe's birthday tomorrow, do you guys have anything special planned to celebrate him or honor him?
I'm going to keep that internal. Obviously, it's going to be an emotional day for all of us, so I'll keep that internal.
Alrighty, thanks, Coach.
Frank Vogel. LeBron James, however, finished with 38 points in the win. He now has 111 30-point games in the playoffs. That is the most in NBA history.
That's a lot.
Not bad company there, guys.
Yeah.
Add that one to the list. How about this interesting stat? Back-to-back games, third quarters for the Lakers. Today, we talked about a big 40-point offensive performance, but outscored the Blazers by 11. In game 2, third quarter, outscored the Blazers by 13. Specific to tonight, let's talk a little Alex Caruso, someone that we have loved all season long, that we thought would thrive in this kind of environment. But of course, you talked about him being able to play that pick and roll game. Frank giving him credit for getting AD going there in the third quarter.
Yeah, and we talked about, who could run the offense other than LeBron. And Caruso has proven that he's a little floor general because he does exactly what the coach wants to do. He understands, ratios and how to get people involved. And I thought when LeBron was out the game, it was key that Caruso knew how to get AD involved. I mean, till Rondo comes back, he's doing a great job.
I'm still keeping him when Rondo comes back. The thing is, when you have a relationship with certain people, it just works. And I think AD and Caruso relationship is beautiful. The thing about it is, like, he knows when AD is going to pop. He knows when AD is going to roll, except for that one moment in game 1. But I love the fact that when they set that pick and roll further towards the sideline and Caruso comes off hard. When he comes off that pick and roll hard, he attacks the basket because everybody knows AD is one of the stars on the team, so they're going to try to stop him. So when Caruso is aggressive, that makes the team better. But the thing about him is there's a lot of things that he does in a game that's not going to show up. Watch how he played defense on the guards. He was up in them. He was making them do things they didn't want to do. It's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but he made the guards on Portland uncomfortable.
But the stat that does stand out to me, guys, 7 assists, just 2 turnovers. This is a guy that is playing in the playoffs for the first time, not shying away from the moment, wanting the opportunity, and as you guys mentioned, is simply just playing the game the right way. Let's hear from him. AC Fresh, she's speaking with Brez in the media.
Hey, Alex. I want to talk about your defense a little bit. A lot of people are recognizing it on Twitter and so on and so forth. How would you assess how you played against Damian? Obviously, he's still going to get his points. I've been pretty pleased with your defensive effort and the team as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. I obviously, even if I wanted to, I can't take credit for myself. Damian Lillard's easily the hottest player in the bubble, maybe outside Devin Booker, but in the playoffs for sure. And just overall, one of the best point guards in the league, if not up there for the best. So, obviously, you have to be prepared to play defense with 5 guys against him. Just coming off screens, making sure the bigs are up, making sure there's constant pressure on him, just trying to give him different looks. Because if he gets comfortable, everybody knows what he's capable of.
Alex, kind of a quiet first half for AD. He made only 1 shot, missed a bunch of free throws, but he really came alive in that second half. What did you see from him, especially in the fourth quarter, drilling those long jumpers on 3 consecutive possessions?
Yeah, he was a little frustrated. I could see after he missed those free throws early. So he kind of just used that frustration to fuel him going into the second half. Tried to just take advantage of the pick and roll and get him the ball at the elbow. And when he's making jump shots, he's impossible to guard.
Got to ask about LeBron as well, of course. He came out with kind of a score-first mindset in the first half, and in the second half, a little bit of everything, including some threes. He was kind of quiet, I guess, from his perspective in Game 2 with only 10 points. That was not the case tonight, was it?
Yeah, no, we're playing games that...
Harrison, go ahead. All right, Harrison, are you there? All right, let's see. Anyone on site?
Yep, yes, Kyle. Yeah, AC, can you describe the play in the fourth quarter where you close out the game and then to the other side to CJ? In transition, it was a transition play.
Did I end up closing to CJ's chest and he dribbled in for like a floater or something?
Yeah, well, it seemed like you moved side to side on the court.
Yeah, man, I'm just, that's kind of how I play. I had a long closeout in either game 1 or game 2 to get a contest in the corner. It's time to leave it all out in the court. If I see an opening, I'm going to go cover it up. And that's just kind of the culture of our team. Whenever there's a play to be made, whoever's there to make it makes it. So sometimes it's me, sometimes it's AD covering on the backside, KCP, DG, Kuz. Kuz has done a great job in this series too of just playing with great effort. It's just my time a lot of times because I recognize it. But yeah, it's just me playing hard, and nothing to save.
You guys have had Some slow starts offensively. When you put forward, when you get some of those individual efforts on defense, how does that affect the bench? How does that affect the team effort?
That's kind of been our thing all year. Whether we've shot the ball well or not, we've struggled to get going. Obviously, offensively a couple of times in the bubble, but just locking in on defense and locking into our game plan. We kind of had a slow start in game one, and we let them extend their lead to double digits and kind of get out of hand. And we were playing from behind. So we did a good job tonight of not letting that happen after they hit a couple threes early, and we didn't. Just staying locked in. 48 minutes is such a long time, and there's so many possessions in a game. That's why even when there's a minute left and we're up 12 or 13, I'm still picking up full and making sure that we're working the defense or working off.
Yeah,
He's smashed on a few people like that before.
I know.
I've seen it.
Yeah, he will try you.
Inside and out. Danny Green scored 8 points, making 2 of 4 from 3. He's now speaking with Brez in the media.
What can you say about you guys' defense? 3 good games in a row defensively, held Portland to 108 tonight. Are you feeling pretty confident on that side of the ball?
We're not comfortable at all, but we are confident what we're capable of doing. We just have to make it happen and do it for 4 quarters. I think we kind of came in, I'm going to say lackadaisical, but not as intense as last game. They were a little comfortable, CJ and Dame, in 8 threes in the first half. But we slowly kind of got into it a little more, got a little more physical. Trying to figure out how we can do that without getting in foul trouble, keeping them off the free throw line. But defensively, I think we're doing a pretty decent job. We got to keep that, sustain that, and offensively continue to move the ball, find each other, trust each other. And tonight we did a good job of attacking. Bron finally got hot. I mean, it's the first time, I guess, in this playoffs, we had a game where everybody's been on. We've had a couple games where some guys have been clicking, some guys haven't. And he found his touch tonight, and he was big for us from the start to finish. And defensively, he's a great leader for us, and AD was a monster on the board for us. So it was a good all-around game for the most part, but we're still trying to find a rhythm.
Yeah, Danny, you mentioned LeBron, 38 points in 34 minutes. It seemed like he was kind of a scorer in the first half, but he really started setting people up in that second half. You had to have liked his overall game, of course.
For sure. I mean, he's always been our leader on that end of the floor. But recently, just not that end. He's taking pride defensively, a quarterback in where we need to be, what we need to do, and taking the charge. So offensively, he did a great job, man. Couldn't ask for a better overall floor game from him. We've got to sustain that and help him by knocking down shots and playing good defense.
What impressed you about Anthony Davis? Kind of a slow first half for him, made only 1 basket, missed a bunch of free throws, but he really turned it on in that second half.
Just the maturity of him, man. He stuck with it. He didn't let missed free throws get him down, missed shots get him down. And eventually, that worm turned for him. He started knocking down that mid-range. He started getting in his rhythm. Started making some free throws, but he also stayed in that glass for us. That don't put back rebounds are big. They're huge, especially when they got shot blockers in there going for every shot. He allows us to comfortably go to the rim, to the basket, and not worry about the outcome because we know he's going to follow up for us. But we got to attack those bigs, try to keep them moving, try to, get them out of the paint some, but attack them and not let them just, be in there without, having to play some defense. So trying our best to get them in foul trouble because we know they don't go as deep in the bench. But he did a great job on the glass for us and instead sticking with it.
38, 12, and 8 for LeBron James in season 17. You ready to do a little Axis 360?
Yes, let's do a little Axis. Talk about his aggression tonight against Portland. Shot moment, just being the king that he is.
Guys, we talked about leadership with LeBron in the A block, just knowing what his team needs when they need it. You get 2 versions of LeBron, the facilitator, or you get the guy like we saw tonight. Very efficient, I might add. But when he is getting downhill and putting all of that pressure on the rim in the defense, what does that do for the Lakers? How does it change their approach?
It gives you a lift to know that, you have a guard that can, a player that can go in there and dominate, knowing that you're sitting out there on the 3-point line and he can dish it out to you as well. If you've ever played with a star player, Kobe, Michael, that they can do it, and it just makes you feel good that you're on the team with the guy, and it makes you play harder. It makes you go out to 50-50 balls. It gives you a really big uplift. And defensive players usually pound you. They beat you. I've never seen a player like LeBron, while he has the ball in his hand, that punishes people. He punishes people like Shaquille used to do. And that's tough. That's tough to defend that.
Let's hear from his running mate. Anthony Davis scored 23 of his 29 points in the second half. He's now speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Anthony, you had 23 of your points. We're thinking at halftime if anything changed in the approach and what led to that turnaround, especially in those non-LeBron minutes when you guys got that extra lift.
Been aggressive. I got the ball in some of my sweet spots. You know, coach did a great job of drawing up a play, and we just kind of kept going back to it. You know, didn't want to tell LeBron at half. I got to take some of the pressure off of him. You know, only 3 shot attempts in the first half, and you know, I missed a ton of free throws. But you know, I didn't want him to, you know, just carry the team the entire time. I wanted to take some pressure off. I mean, you know, you got guys trying to get into him and make it tough for him, picking him up 94 feet. So just trying to take some pressure off of him where you don't have to come down and, you know, and try to score every time and facilitate. So just kind of take some of that pressure off of him. And, you know, once again, guys made shots, which opened up the floor for him and myself. You know, you can't really help off as much when we're making shots. So, like I say, just getting the ball in the sweet spots and shooting the ball with confidence.
You mentioned LeBron's aggressiveness. He was getting into the paint all night long. What is that like playing with him when he's in that mode, you know, as opposed to the times when he's been facilitating a bit more?
In attack mode. You know, we need him to play like that all the time. It's tough to stop. It's fun for us, you know, and he still makes the right plays. And, you know, I told the guys in the huddle, it's our job when he's attacking, it's our job for us to make shots. We have to make shots for him, and, you know, guys were able to do that again tonight.
AD, it's Dave. I know you told us how between games 1 and 2, LeBron was, you know, encouraging to get you back on track. Have you had any conversations with him since we've been down in Orlando about getting him encouraged and getting him into this challenge that is ahead of you guys?
He's been doing it for a long time, Dave. There's nothing I can say that he hasn't heard or seen already. So my job is to kind of just be there. If you want to talk about something, you know, I'm there. But when in the game, he's so locked in. I'll be talking to him sometimes, and you know, he just stares straight ahead. And I'm like, all right, he heard me, and I just leave it alone. But he's been doing this for a long time, been in this situation for many of times, and it's not much that he hasn't seen. So, you know, I still say what I got to say, and you know, even if he don't respond, I know he's listening.
Okay, Kyle.
Sorry.
Go ahead, BT.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay. AD, you know, how much do you think about how your aggressiveness and physicality can kind of wear down the Portland front court? It seemed like Nurkic at the end of this game was pretty tired from keeping up with you.
I'm just trying to run, just play within our schemes. You know, we want to be a running team. You know, they have 2 bigs on the floor. They started 2 bigs on the floor tonight and kind of, played that way throughout the series. And, you know, we just want to run. You know, we're very good, you know, when we're running, playing in, you know, in a fast break. And so, you know, my job is once we get the rebound, you know, either if I get out push, if not, I'm running the floor and just kind of let them guys adjust to us and just kind of wear them down. I mean, obviously they've been playing a lot. Actually, since they've been here, we're playing like game 7. So it's our job to, you know, just kind of keep putting the pressure on them and keep running as the bigs. And that's what all I'm trying to do.
AD, you guys held them to, I think, 22 points in the fourth quarter, and they shot like 33%. What was the key to that defense in the fourth quarter?
It was just the entire second half. I mean, we let them get too comfortable in the first half, especially Dame and CJ. I mean, Melo came out in the third and got pretty hot, but we just wanted to make it tough for them. You know, no threes, knowing that late game, that's what they try to do. You know, or hit Melo in the corner for 3. So we just try to take that away and make them beat us with 2s. So our guards have been great on the ball, guarding Dame and CJ, and just making sure that you know, they feel pressure anytime they come off screens or in isolations, and channeling them to the basket. And it's our job as bigs to make sure that we protect them.
Tanya?
You talk about paying those together and obviously there's also a lot of energy expended playing defense against these guys. What does it take to stay so consistent with the defense over these 3 games as adjustments are being made, given like the potential that they have?
Effort. So the defense is all about effort. You got to want to play defense, and everybody in our locker room, has taken that challenge. Especially with these 2 guys, and so we want to be a great defensive team. We don't want to rely on our offense to win games. We wanted to do it on the defensive end. That's kind of what happened in that second half. But everybody has taken the challenge to guard the man one-on-one, and also know that you have help on the backside if you do get beat. And our communication has been great for the most part, but we want to make sure that we continue to be aggressive defensively, especially against Dame and CJ, and make them work for every shot.
Taylor Rooks?
Hey, Anthony, for you specifically, what's the thing that you did best this game and the thing you did that needs the most improvement?
Improvement, free throws. I missed 7 free throws, very unlikely for myself. I just got to take my time at the line. Could have cost us the game, but as a team, we struggled from the line. We had to be better, and I was able to, get back to the mid-range, kind of space the floor out, with that mid-range, and then guys were able to attack downhill. So that pick and pop, pick and short roll game for me was very effective tonight.
And last question, Mark Medina.
Anthony, your skills on LeBron are pretty obvious, but why do you think your guys' personalities mesh so well together?
I don't know. I mean, kind of got no choice, to be honest. We're 2 guys just like to have fun. We like to work. We like to win. But off the court, we just kind of clicked. 2 guys who like to have fun, 2 guys who are big kids, and play Xbox and have game nights back in LA, like stuff like that is just kind of unique. We've known each other for a long time, but I think when you got 2 guys who click like that, on and off the floor is great for organization.
Great, thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the West playoff bracket. The story with Lakers in Portland. An interesting win for the Thunder today over Houston. James Harden fouling out in overtime. Nuggets suffering their worst loss in Nuggets playoff history against the Jazz yesterday. And then, of course, the story with Dallas and Luka suffering an ankle injury yesterday. It's the latest on the West side.
It's the best side.
Anyone stick out to you?
For me, I think it's Dallas. Dallas is playing extremely good because if you look at the way him and Porzingis is playing, and Porzingis is finding his way, that was going to be an interesting matchup. So I really hate to see that. He's not at 100.
Should be 2-2 there. Do you know that?
I'm very intrigued by the Nuggets-Jazz series. Mike Conley comes back yesterday after the birth of his son, knocks down 7 threes. But there was a lot of talk about Jamal Murray, of course, the Joker. Find themselves down 2-1.
That's scary.
I'm only watching Lakers Portland. Brother knows he knows where to get his numbers. He knows what to do.
He knows where to eat. You get in that paint and you feast, because that's a high percentage shot. These analytical people might not like it, but the numbers show.
LeBron finished 2 assists shy of a triple-double. He's now speaking with Mike in the media.
Your shot chart tonight, 8 threes, and then just everything right at the rim. 7 for 10 in the paint, plus all the fouls that you drew. Anything you noticed on film the last couple of games or in this game that made you attack that much?
I've always watched film, especially in the playoffs, an extensive amount of minutes. My minutes, our team minutes, the way they're playing me, the way they're playing our team. Every game calls for a different, situations. And tonight, I just wanted to try to be aggressive, and see if I can get into the paint, see if I can find my guys. And I was able to do that early, get to the line, even though I missed a few of them early on. But I felt like I had a good rhythm, and just try to just try to make plays, like I said, for myself and my teammates.
So tonight you passed Tim Duncan for seconds in all-time playoff wins. We have 157. It's just Derek Fisher that's left at 161. Knowing how difficult it is to win in the postseason, can you put that in perspective? That total amount of wins that you have.
I get asked the question a lot, and it's just always surreal for me when my name is associated with any of the greats. And obviously, we know how great Tim Duncan was in this league. With that franchise, I had my battles with him. Also was a teammate with him in the Olympics, and just seeing what he was able to accomplish, not only in the regular season, but more importantly in the postseason. And he lived in the postseason. That was his address. So for me to be linked with the great and the big fundamentals, it means a lot. Not only to myself, but my hometown and whoever has been following my career.
Hey, LeBron, it's Dave. I want to stay on the Duncan line of questioning. Obviously, you played him 3 times in the finals. 2007 was the first time. And there was that moment you guys shared after Game 4. You're going up to the podium, and he grabs you and says, "This is going to be your league someday." One, what did that moment mean to you in the moment? And also, going further, did the way he handled you with grace as an opponent, did that have any effect on you, the way you've kind of interacted with opponents throughout your career?
How did I feel at that moment? We had just got swept, so I didn't feel great about it. Be a smile by saying that. But at the same time, I was still just thinking about, was it something I could have done better in those 4 games that kind of helped us win a game? Obviously, I knew that they were the better team at the end of that series, and they showed it. And for me, I don't think that had anything to do with how I handle my opponents or people. I've always been that way, throughout my whole life. Just my personality. It's just who I've always been, and having so much knowledge of the game has been given to me from my little league coaches and my AAU coach, Coach Drew Joyce, my little league coach, Frank Walker, Keith Danbrot, and they just gave me so much game, not only on the floor, but also off the floor. So when you have that type of knowledge and you continue to grow over the years, I feel like it's very important for me to give back to the next generation if they need it, when they want it. So that's just who I've always been, from day one.
Hey, LeBron, shifting back to tonight, what has been the key to you guys kind of summoning and maintaining this defensive intensity against their firepower? And specific to just the series, has it allowed you guys to kind of find your offensive rhythm throughout games? Because it's kind of presented itself in different ways, but the defense has been pretty solid throughout.
I mean, from the first day of training camp, we wanted to be the best defensive team in the league. So nothing has changed. No, the mindset has not changed. We've had some explosions offensively this year, before COVID, obviously. But the main thing has always been the main thing, and that's to defend. And that's just who we has always been. And there's going to be games where your offense just don't make shots. You don't play well, but you have to be able to defend and give yourself an opportunity. So that's just who we've always been. That has not changed from the first day we stepped on the floor of training camp.
Kyle Goon?
LeBron, AD has talked so much about how many cues he takes from you, values your experience. In a literal game like this, how much do you sense that your aggressiveness on offense or your aggressive approach on any part of the game kind of coaxes him into being his most aggressive self?
I don't know. I think we definitely work well together. For all the questions going into the season of if myself and AD can work well together, I think we've shown that throughout the course of this season. So, but we just try to work off one another. There's going to be times where, just like in Game 2, he had it going. He carried us, he had it going, and I just tried to do other things to make sure we keep our offense flowing, keep our pace going, and things of that nature. But he had it going, and we wanted to continue to go back to him. Tonight, we both had our opportunities, and we just tried to make the most of it. Putting our teammates in position to be successful. doing the right things and making the right reads, and living with the results.
Mark Medina?
LeBron, to that point, the skill that you and AD have is obvious and chemistry, but why do you think the personalities work so well together?
Because we're two guys who know who we are. We know who we are as human beings. We're not trying to be nobody else but our own identity, our own selves. And when you know yourself and you're confident in what you do, both on and off the floor, and you know what you represent, then there's no ego. There's no ego. We want both of us to succeed, both on and off the floor. We want our families to be happy. We want each other to try to be as happy as possible. There's no egos. So when you're able to figure that out, like in life, who you are and what you stand for, then nothing else matters.
Joe Bart?
Well, it was a follow-up to that specifically. Sorry, Joe. Did you know that he was like that before you guys started playing together?
Nope.
When did you realize start to see that?
Probably. I guess as soon as we got the trade became official. When the trade became official, he came to LA. We started right from there and see what was there. And like I'm big in like energy and people, and knowing you always hear this term like good vibes, but I truly can sense it, and it was very organic. It was nothing pushed or rushed or whatever the case may be. We just let it happen. We let the relationship happen organically, and it's just grown over the course of this whole year.
Joe Bird?
I think it's your shared Midwestern values.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
Does it feel like you guys are getting back to who you are as Lakers?
I don't know. At the end of the day, we want to get better every game throughout this series. We played extremely well in Game 2. We played really well tonight. There's still some things we can get better at, and we know that Portland's going to be better in Game 4. And we have to have that same mindset going into Game 4, knowing that we're desperate and they're desperate as well, and who plays and who follows their key and makes the least amount of mistakes will become victorious. So, every game, like I said, has its own challenges, and we begin to prepare for them tomorrow. And we're going to watch a lot of film and see ways we can get better and do the things that we want to do. And they're going to take you out of things. That's what the postseason is all about. You will be taken out of things, but how can you counter from that and be able to still be, productive out on the floor for 48 minutes? So we look forward to the challenge.
Last question, Taylor.
Hey, Ron, so same question I had for AD, but for you specifically, what is the thing that you did the best tonight and the thing you did that needs the most improvement?
I just think my pace, my offensive pace tonight. At times I was, fast, slow, medium pace. It was like a stick shift. At times I was in gear 1, at times I was in gear 6, and being able to just read and react depending on if I was in the school zone, or if I was in a residential area, or if I was on the highway, if I was on the straightaway. So being able to have a car that can go into different speeds and go into different zones depending on what the traffic is very key. So I think that was very important on the positive side. I think on the negative side, I had some very careless turnovers that I can get better at, and when you go to the free throw line, you got to hit those free throws. So I got to do a better job of both of those on that side. Appreciate it.
Thanks, LeBron.
Some more love for LeBron. D. Wade taking to Twitter, saying LeBron has been very impressive in these playoffs. He's played the role that has been needed from him. Some moments aggressive to score, others just being a decoy. Of course, the two won 2 titles together in Miami. I don't know if I've ever heard LeBron being used as a decoy, but you got to listen to the 3-time champ, Dwayne Wade, as we welcome in our Lakers insider, Mike Bresnahan. Well done with your interviews, Alex Caruso and Danny Green, which you want to talk a little bit about Caruso.
Yeah, I kind of got through the interview with Caruso and I started hitting the button on my Zoom thing. I have one more question for him. His offense, kind of overlooked tonight. 10 points, 7 assists. The assists were the second most he's had all season. So maybe Rondo needing a little more time with that sore back. It flared up right before tip-off, unable to play tonight. Maybe that's okay for the Lakers. Maybe just wait and see what happens with this series, especially if Caruso can continue to be good at both ends. I just love his intensity defensively, too. You're not going to stop Lillard, but he's not afraid to stick his nose in there, make those points tough. And what more can you say about the undrafted kid out of Texas A&M who spent a few years in the G League and now is getting serious time for the Lakers? I believe in 3 games so far in the playoffs, he's about plus 25. That's not so bad either.
Another takeaway from you?
Well, a couple of things. They got to shore up the free throws for sure. I mean, that first half, you can't be missing all those free throws. They should have been up. They should have won this game by probably 20 points. It's been a season-long issue for them. They were 28th out of 30th in free throw percentage. But you got to love LeBron. I know you guys talked about him a lot earlier in the show. Kind of a tale of two halves. Scorer in the first half, distributor in that second half. I love that back-to-back early in the fourth quarter. Alley-oop lobs, one to AD and one to Dwight. Make it easy for the big guys.
Ruz, we have a free throw line in here. We have a court. We have a hoop. We have a basketball. If you were to step to the line and shoot 10, how many would you make?
See, it's easy for me to criticize. I'd make 4. I was never a good free throw shooter in high school.
4?
Yeah, I'd make 4.
Rob.
Come on, Rob. 1?
You make 1. 1.
Well, yeah, it's hard here because they got all the lights and everything.
It doesn't matter. You would make 1.
I'm just going to say this.
I've seen your dance moves, so you got no rhythm whatsoever, and basketball shooting is rhythm.
Well, you don't need rhythm, though, in terms of dancing from the free throw line.
Yes, you do.
Because
Who scored more points, me or you?
I'm sorry?
Who scored more points in college, me or you?
Well, you didn't have a ball. So.
I said in college.
Oh, in college, me. All day.
Me. All day.
Yeah, all day. All right, look that up.
Got to have rhythm.
Allie, what was your free throw percentage in college?
It was not good.
Yeah.
It was not like the Lakers tonight. I should be shooting 1,000 free throws tomorrow. About 64, 70-ish.
Okay. All right, you're still better than me.
It's a different role with Toledo. She had a different role.
She's a Mack truck. She's supposed to
say that.
Thank you. Let him know. All I know is that if we're going to continue to do 90-minute post-game shows, you two should probably put a feature together from the free throw line. I would love that. That'd be great.
Can we take a few of these lights down?
Let's do
that.
Let's look at some production from the Blazers trio. You see it right there. Damian Lillard, 34. CJ McCollum, 28. They combined for 62 on the night. And then Carmelo Anthony, you mentioned, got it going there in the third. 20 points from him, go along with 6 boards. Let's hear from Damian Lillard.
2-1 going into game 4. We gotta get the next game. We get the next one, and it's a tie series. And that's perfectly fine with me. But emotionally, I'm fine. I would have loved to have the game tonight, but we didn't get it. So we gotta go into the next one.
Check this out. LeBron James picked up his 158th career win in the postseason. He is now 2nd all-time. You just heard him talking about passing Mr. Fundamental. Derek Fisher, 161. Oh, how did I miss your name on that list? Was that by design, Big Shot?
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. Everybody hates a champion.
We're always missing on our list.
Time.
Add all them rings up, they probably can catch me.
7-time champion, 155 wins.
Yes, never lost in the first round, Allie.
Tell
never
them.
Lost.
Don't tell me, tell them.
Never
Louder.
lost in the first round. Where the camera at? It was fun, though. The thing about it, playing in the playoffs, it brings out the best in everybody. I love playing in the playoffs. It was almost like going in my own little mini bubble when I played. James, I don't know about you, but I cut out all outside noise when it came time for the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs is where you make your money.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a horrible regular season, and come times of playoffs, you're playing against one team for 7 games. You're not traveling as much. You're focusing in on, the 2 or 3 players that you're assigned to. You're watching video every day. So you should up the ante a little bit in the playoffs.
Rob, you say you cut out all the noise, but there was no noise back then. There was no Twitter. There's no Facebook. There's no Instagram. It was easier back then.
There's a lot of noise, Brez.
Well, we had people like you, Brez, want to do interviews and stuff like that,
And bringing it up 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember Roxbury, Walla?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, Big Game, because the clock was winding down. Big Shot was sitting over there. We've talked about it before the playoffs even started. If you guys would like to be in this environment, Rob said not so much, but he was sitting over there and he said, you know what? I think I'd actually really enjoy this. Has that changed for you at all?
Being in the bubble?
Being in the bubble.
No, I want fans. And I want home court advantage. It means a little bit. You know, sleeping in your own bed, you know. Yeah. You know, you make a big dunk or a big play, and that crowd, man, they give it to you. And if you're tired and if you just need a little bit of push, they give it to you. So I don't know if I want to be in the bubble.
So then what's changed for you?
No, I wouldn't want to be in the bubble. I would say at first I said I couldn't play in the bubble, but actually watching, I said, you know what? It will allow me to focus and key in on what I need to do. So I said, you know what? Thinking about it, I could play in the bubble because what you do, you really analyze because think about it. You don't have to go home. You don't have to change the diapers. You don't have to get up and take the kids to school. You know, all you do is say, okay, I'm just going to watch film. I'm going to see what Carmelo Anthony's going to do. He's going to turn on that left shoulder every time, and he's going to shoot it. So it gives you an opportunity to only do basketball. So
one responsibility.
Yeah, one responsibility. So I could do it. I wouldn't want to, but I could do it.
I think we're going to stick on you for a minute.
Uh-oh.
I think there's some stats.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I've been told. Oh!
Mac truck, baby!
You could have given me a better profile pic, too.
Allie, your hair's a little darker back there.
68. I was not off with the free throw percentage.
Wow, you
close.
68%.
That's good. That's good. 68%.
You got Rob's?
No, I don't have mine.
You know what that is?
That's that Mac truck, baby, coming down.
That 48% bulldozer right at the rim. Mac truck.
Allie, 33% from
you guys are really exposing me. 5 points a game.
You big three-point shooter?
You shot threes?
No.
No?
No, it was when I shot really bad from the field, though, that I then went to the eye doctor. My junior year in college. Ended up getting contacts the next day, went out and shot 5 of 5 from 3. I was unstoppable. And then I stopped.
You're like Shaq. You hit him when it counts.
Hit him when it counts.
That is funny.
You guys are all in trouble in the control room, just to let you know.
Love the music.
Let's take a look at the series schedule. In case you missed it in the pregame. Of course, Lakers up 2-1. Game 4. Mamba Day on Monday. Then you've got Game 5 on Wednesday. If Game 6 is necessary, Friday, Game 7 on Sunday.